Good morning and good afternoon and good evening to everyone who's here. My name is Shen. I am the head of global growth at Mass Network and also NextID. So a quick overview of Mass Network. So we are a Web3 social infrastructure project with the focus of bridging Web2 users to Web3 and creating a more privacy-focused open internet. And we do so through right now, three product lines. So first is our flagship Mass Network browser extension that actually allows users to create, we seamlessly use the browser extension to add a layer on top of Twitter. So allow users to create encrypted tweets. They can access their decentralized apps, send crypto giveaways, NFT giveaways, etc. We have actually 40 different functionalities that's included in the browser extension. That allows users to be able to both enjoy the benefits of Web2, still their Web2 social graph, while recognizing that there are more and more people interested in Web3 and want a more seamless experience. So that is number one. And then number two, so we're working on a decentralized DID protocol called Next.id, which actually originated as the ID layer of Mass Network, but now is an independent open source DID protocol, also with the thesis of being able to aggregate users' profiles, identities across Web2 and Web3, and hence make both the DID user-owned and also be able to create an identity-first paradigm where your financial assets and all that information attached to your wallet is no longer going to be the kind of a key touch point for you to access the app, and thus more secure. So that's the second line of product that we are developing. So NextID is currently in the phase of beta testing. And today, I think in the audience seat, we have also our alpha test and beta test partners. So we're really excited to see them here. And then number three is also something we're really excited to launch very soon is our mobile end called MaskX. So it's still in a private testing mode right now, but it will be a mobile and consumer face app. That also integrates both the Twitter, Twitter feed with combined kind of Web3 specific content and functionalities for current users in Web3 space. So that's kind of the high level what we are building. And the project has been around since 2018, 2019. And our team has also grown pretty exponentially in the past 2 years. Yeah, and I can give you a more detailed overview of each of the product lines. So with Mask, let's see. I can find it on screenshot. Yeah, so this is actually, if you can see here, there's a little bit too much content on the screen actually, but so for example, if you do send a tweet on Mask while installing Mask's extension, then it gets decrypted for other users who has Mask extension. So thus, we don't actually store any of these user information. The thesis there is we want to create a private network of communication right on top of the social giants. Some people would describe this as a vampire attack, where we parasitically use the kind of the momentum of Web2 giants while seamlessly onboard users to Web3. And another key feature is called Lucky Drop. So or a giveaway for those that are not in the context of the lucky drop or kind of rat packet in the Chinese context. So Vitalik actually back in 2020, he has used a Mask extension to send a crypto lucky drop right on top of Twitter. And we've also seen a lot of projects use this as a way to engage with their communities. And also it's just a social gifting way. So we now support both the token side. So Mask itself is chain agnostic. So, and then we have been able to, as a middleware, integrate with 10 different, ecosystems and chains and tokens. Yeah. And today you can also gift NFTs through Mask's extension. Another really fun and feature that I personally really enjoy is called Web3 Tab. and merged feed. So again, with the extension installed and like using our partner RSS3's content syndication protocol, we will create a specific Web3 tab that showcases this users, for example, NFT holdings, donations on Gitcoin, POAPs, etc., to create more of a like a merged experience. And for example, if I do know, like, my colleagues who are on Mask, I can now check their Twitter and, through the Web3 feed, know, like, what are some of their latest NFTs they've acquired, or like, different kind of events they've attended where there's a POAP issue. So that's kind of an overall gist on Mask's like extension side. There are a lot of features, so we recommend people to like try out. We can also change, like we have the Twitter profile avatar feature long before Twitter actually launched it. So today, like these are all the kind of the overview of the different functionalities that we have, and then the broader ecosystem we create is also something we're really proud of. So through the Mask like middleware, we are able to like kind of connect both from the backend protocols, like IDs, to like kind of the like syndicated to the front end, like different social media platforms. And we also have other DApps that are building in through like Mask's like open source SDK. So we have both the kind of our own in-house developed features, as well as, like kind of social gaming, or kind of people who are contributing to our like overall like user experience. Yeah. And so that's on the Mask side, Mask extension side. And I also want to highlight our like initiative on the DID side very quickly. Next ID. So let's see. Yeah. So and I think DID has like has been kind of a focal point of discussion for a lot of people. I think since Vitalik issued the paper on Soban token in May, and I think a lot what we're seeing a lot of both security concerns and also growing trends where like DAOs or gaming platforms projects are starting to think about how do we create a more multidimensional and like kind of a trustless identity of our users that we can use to onboard, like members to a DAO, or like kind of have different types of qualification and credentials issued to identity that's not limited to one wallet address. And so that's the, I guess, what also motivates us to keep on building NextID. Yeah. And specifically right now for NextID, we have 3 lines of services. It's mostly developer facing right now as a backend DID protocol. The first one we have is called proof service, where through NextID's did method, we're able to kind of prove the user will send a proof post that verifies connections, for example, of a Web2 identity like Twitter to their like Web3, like one of their Web3 wallet addresses, and saved as a NextID avatar like our did. And then right now, this all these proofs are backed up in our Reef. Another piece of it is as more users start to create these profiles and aggregate their like kind of profiles through NextID, we are also aggregating other DID methods and binding proofs that we can find through other databases. So right now we actually have over 130K different connections that we have in our relation service, which is a massive social graph that allows DApps to kind of build on top, and then like be able to create, like, for example, a search function of different, like that can help their users look up, other users, kind of like their different social profiles. And you can also have a more enriched user profile experience with relation service. We actually built a quick front end demo to showcase the kind of the power of relation service. So for example, we have like, I think 10 plus different data sources. So if you search like an ENS address, it will with the relation service, like our graph QL like database, you can search up, or you can surface the related wallet addresses, other ENS holdings, and then you have like Keybase, Twitter, Gitcoin, Lens, and yeah, I think this is I think Reddit or something. And then we also recently launched a more visualized kind kind of UI to help people see how their data is connected. Security is something at the very center of why we're building this, and we want to help both the projects as well as the users themselves to eventually be able to understand how their information is interconnected and shared and used. Yeah. So that's the current status quo of NextID, but we don't want to just stop here. And I think the overall, the grand narrative of decentralized identity goes way bigger than just having a single identifier. And I think later in the panel, we'll probably be talking about how are DIDs like actually useful and how does it like interface with other applications. So going beyond that, two things that we're currently working on, one is called the auth service, where we will be we're developing a set of authentication services for projects to more seamlessly onboard Web2 users with their Web2 credentials to access the apps through like kind of OAuth compatible scheme that we design. And another piece down the road is all of this can be user hosted. We are chain agnostic, and the self-hosted VPS is one thing that we think can address a lot of the data ownership and security issue in the space that we see, not just in Web3, but also beyond. Another thing is with VPS, there's a lot more like kind of programmable and like agility in terms of like different services that the broader open source community can contribute to NextID. Yeah.